Welcome to the Yo-11 podcast. Yo-11 podcast, mostly Vegas no BS casino experience and more. Michael Trager is a casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into reality. And now your host, Michael Trager. How's it going, Michael?
It is going very well. How are you doing? How's your tuchus doing?
My Tokus is doing all right. Thanks for asking.
Okay, just checking on you. That's it's just a check-in. Is it fantastical?
I've been told, yes.
Okay. That's our word of the week. Word of the week. TravelZork word of the week.
Tokus. Oh boy. Alrighty.
Oh,
We don't have any news for today, but we do have a podcast ponder. And today's podcast ponder is, would you visit the new Holstein's location in the Arts District? Holstein's used to be located at the Cosmopolitan. They were known for their fantastical burgers. They were right there next to Egg Slut. If you went up to that second level where Egg Slut is, to the left of that used to be Holstein's. Holstein's closed some months back to make way for a new venue, but Holstein's is moving to the Arts District. Now, the Arts District is a little bit off the beaten path. Think of it this way. If you've been out here to Vegas, you're on Las Vegas Boulevard, you're heading towards the Strat. I know it sounds scary. It's the Strat. I know. People are like, oh, the area around the Strat is horrible. But you're heading towards the Strat. You hit Main Street, Las Vegas Boulevard and Main Street, and you just head up Main Street a bit. And over there by California Street and Main is where this new location is going to be. Same owners, same Holsteins, new location. For a lot of people, they don't like to venture off the beaten path, that being the Strip or even downtown. But my question is, would you go and visit, if you miss Holsteins? That's probably a big factor. If you miss Holsteins, would you go and visit Holsteins in the Arts District? Let us know. Tweet us at TravelZork. We're everywhere at TravelZork, so you can find us easily, as I always say at the end of the episodes. What are your thoughts, Michael?
My thoughts are also, though, I mean, being in the Arts District, which is a really cool place that a lot of people go to, especially people who are, Vegas, people who've gone to Vegas for years or people who are local to Vegas, it might be sort of good for them being in the Arts District. And I'm going to take a wild guess that the rent is a fraction of what the rent was at Cosmo.
I'm thinking that. I am curious, though, if they're going to charge Vegas Strip prices for burgers in a place where it might not necessarily be Vegas Strip prices. You know what I mean? They are not far from Esther's Kitchen. They are not far from Rebar. A bunch of places that are right there on Main Street in the Arts District. Lots of great restaurants, great bars, and also some very awesome antique shops as well. So it's just you get an idea for the feel of the neighborhood.
No, it's a good point. That's a really interesting point as far as like pricing via what is your competition or what's next door, right? Because that's a big deal. Because when you're a burger restaurant on the Strip, you're pricing based on everybody surrounding you, all the surrounding resorts and all of that kind of thing. So the pricing is a little different. That I'm very, very curious to hear. Talking about burgers, Five Guys is opening on the Strip in September.
I was not aware of that. Five Guys are good.
Yeah, so Five Guys opens in September, and I think a little birdie told me that we might get some kind of really good special invitation to the opening or pre-opening. Would you be interested in
hell yeah.
testing?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yes.
Can you Google really quickly? Where's the Five Guys going to be? Is it at? I don't want to say. I hate to say where things are going to be because I hate to get it wrong, and I think I know where it's going to be, but I think I I lose. I hate to not know, and I can't, of course, find it immediately. It's the new. It's going to be a new Five Guys because there are. The Vegas Strip, yes, it is there in the Grand Canal shops. 5 days ago, I saw a listing. The Vegas Strip is getting its first Five Guys. It is set to open on the Grand Canal shops between the Walgreens and the moving walkways of Madame Tussauds. So that is cool. So that is great to know. It is coming. I was correct in September. I thought it was at Venetian. I just didn't want to say it without verify. So anyway, Movestro, we might be doing that one. Take you out for a burger.
Yep. I'm absolutely going to show up there, do a video, get some content. I will be there on opening day, man. Five Guys is awesome. It's great
cool
stuff.
I think that's really smart for the Strip too. I think it's really a good idea. So that's more burger news, less caviar news, more burger news.
There you go. All right, it is time for the tease.
So today's tease is thinking outside the box when you're trying to, not really outside the box, maybe for miles and points people, within the box for casino people. When you're trying to maximize these incredible tier point multipliers, cough Caesars for 10 times or 5 times or 10 times tier, and people, immediately think of, playing slots. And especially people who are non-gamblers think, oh my God, I got to play slots. And of course, slots is the best way to do it because you're doing $5 per tier point at properties like Caesars. So obviously, if you have a 10 times tier multiplier, that's quite huge. So if you do, 1,000, if you do 1,000 tier points, you're going to wind up with 10,000 tier points. You need 15,000 for diamond. So you can basically make diamond really easily in a day, or diamond plus with slots. But of course, slots have a very high house edge. So the way that I always talked about with people is that you should do these tier point multipliers with video poker, because with video poker, even though at Caesars it's $10 per tier point, the house edge is much lower, even on the crappy video poker, because you're talking house edges between 10 and 12% on slots, or 8 and 12% on slots. You can correct me if I'm wrong about that, Movestro. Whereas with video poker, you're talking even the worst video poker maybe has a 4% house edge. So, and the best video poker has a 1% house edge. And of course, you need to think about games, low variance games. Low variance games mean that things will be a lot smoother. You're not waiting for those crazy hands. And that would be games like Jacks or Better or bonus poker. And this is something that we've talked about. This is something I think Justin recently did an article on TravelZork about that. Is that correct, Movestro?
Yes, he did.
Yes, you could see that article. But guess what? This year at ZorkFest, we're not only having a session about how to really understand video poker and that kind of stuff, but we're going to do some hands-on demonstrations of that and really talking about that. And I know that's really useful for people, because sometimes they need to really see it and talk to an expert before they feel comfortable with it, as opposed to, reading strategy cards and things like that. So that is another great, we're really leaning in heavy to video poker this year at ZorkFest, and especially for the miles and points people. A lot of the status matches are gone, and people are like, I don't really gamble, or I don't like to gamble. And that's fine if you don't like to gamble, but you could still learn to play video poker just for the sake of being able to accomplish a tier bonus and get status. Sort of like how miles and points people learn how to do reselling or manufactured spend and things like that, so that they can take care of opportunities. The same thing is, you might not love doing some of that stuff. So it's sort of tuned. It'll be, it'll be talking about the gamblers, the people who really like to gamble, but also people who are not gamblers or have never played video poker and are a little nervous about it and want to understand more about that, especially, if they're worried about their money and they're worried about losing money, but they want to get this tier, this a specific tier. So that's really great stuff that we're doing. Even have some considerations of doing even some more stuff in a masterclass, but definitely sign up for ZorkFest this year, because you're going to be amazed at the stuff. And John and Christina Mahaffey are actually going to be there, and they are incredible experts when it comes to video poker. We are so lucky to have them. They have them run the website Vegas Advantage. And if the knowledge you will get from just listening to these folks and talking to these folks for an hour would take you hours and hours to learn about. So that's really, really cool stuff. Also, labs are returning this year. We're also going to have labs where you're going to get hands-on instruction for blackjack as well as craps. And we're introducing miles and points labs, which are going to be little small session labs where you can talk about, like, I really want to figure out a way to take my family in business class to Greece. I really want to figure out how to accomplish some of these travel goals with my points. And that's going to be at the Miles and Points Labs. So other great stuff. In addition, at ZorkFest this year, we have something called pre-sessions, which are optional, but there's some sessions to bring you up to speed for travel loyalty for some of the casino people, for casino loyalty for some of the travel people. So you all understand the nomenclature and all of the shorthand and everything. So if you've never come to ZorkFest before, we've got these special pre-sessions, which will sort of bring you up to speed and make you feel comfortable about some of the things you're going to be hearing in the other sessions. So I think that's pretty cool. Did I cover that all pretty well, Bovestro?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, so check out ZorkFest.com, buy a ticket. We're telling people you should definitely reserve, even if you haven't bought your ZorkFest ticket or you're waiting on that. Those ZorkFest tickets are transferable for a fee in case your plans change. We're telling people to book their hotel room on our hotel room block or wherever you want to stay. Remember, ZorkFest never requires you to stay at the host hotel, which is a wonderful, wonderful 4-star hotel today. This year, it's the M Resort. But there is a chance that this will be an NFL home game weekend. We won't know that till around the 15th of the month. So it's really good to book your airfare and hotel now before that's announced, because if it is a Las Vegas Raiders home game weekend, it's going to get way busier and room rates are going to go up and prices for flights are going to go up. On top of it, our hotel happens to be the official hotel of the Las Vegas Raiders. And that's also going to impact things a little bit. So even if you're not ready to buy your ZorkFest ticket yet, which is fine because the early bird runs well into August, get your hotel room booked. Get your airfare booked. Remember, the hotel rooms are refundable in almost all cases. The ZorkFest room blocks are refundable. The hotel rooms are refundable. And airfare you can always voucher and use in another date. So one of the greatest things we teach people in the miles and points world is placeholders and planning. And this is one of those situations. So get your accommodations and airfare set, which is all refundable. And then you can wait a little while to buy your ZorkFest ticket if you want. But that's my pro tip. Of course, if it's not a Raiders home game, might not be as busy, but it's still the kickoff weekend for rodeo. And that is a very busy and fun time to be in Vegas. It's actually a fantastical time to be in Vegas. So that's another consideration. And that's about everything I got. Ooh, I wanted to say, before somebody corrects me in the comments, though they probably will, not all video poker at Caesars is one tier point per $10 coin in. I wanted to make that some of the better video poker, the games that are more towards full pay, could be $25 per tier point or $50 per tier point. They don't do as much of that stuff in Vegas. Well, there isn't as much full pay video poker in Vegas, so you don't have to worry about it as they do in Atlantic City. But it is true. So you do have to understand, if slots are $5 a tier point, video poker is $10 a tier point. There is some video poker which you probably wouldn't play during a tier point multiplier, even if though it was a lower house edge. You would give up the percentage or two house edge to get $10 per tier point. So I wanted to also make a point of saying that before somebody else mentions it, because that is a very good point. And these are the kinds of things we're going to be talking about with the strategy. Because imagine how annoyed you would be if you went to do a tier point promotion and thought you were getting one tier point for every $10 and you really were getting one tier point for every $25. That would sort of suck, wouldn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Good stuff. And I believe we have something else to share regarding Disney.
Yes. TravelZork Travel loves to specialize in all kinds of things. That includes Vegas and bougie vacations, and we're airfare experts and air concierge. But we also now have a new travel advisor who will be speaking at ZorkFest about Disney and family travel, and that is Dia. And Dia is a Disney and family travel expert, and she is amazing. So you can go to the TravelZork. You can put a link. The link is really easy. It's just travelzork.travel/Disney. Is that correct, Movestro?
Yep, that's correct.
Yes, and we'll put it. But you can now book with Dia. And even it's not just about booking your Disney vacation or your family vacation. She knows all the hacks and tricks and everything about booking Disney. It's amazing, the stuff she knows. So another reason to check with TravelZork.travel before you plan your next vacation. Just here trying to give you value. And if you need to know, and if you need to plan a vacation just centered around nori rolls, Movestro is your man.
And also, I misspoke. The URL is travelzork.travel/destinations/Disney.
Disney, but we'll put a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
Also, you could just go to travelzork.travel and go to the destinations dropdown, which would be easier.
Yep, that'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, easier, much easier, much easier, much easier.
Much easier.
And we're also going to be, she's also you got to do the song, Panama.
Panama.
Dia is also a Panama expert. So we're going to be putting up a new TravelZork.travel page on that, and we'll have Movestro singing our favorite Van Halen song, which was amazing. There you go. That's it. You can't. You can take the man out of Gen X, but you can't take the Gen X out of the man.
That is true. All right, before we get going, is there anything that's on your mind or anything that you would like to share?
No, we've shared quite a bit, I think. So I encourage you, if you have questions about ZorkFest, to come to the Facebook group, tweet me, or speak to other people who've attended, and you will hear. Oh, you also put up a new video about our dinner experience. There's an optional, incredible dinner experience. I'm not going to reveal what we're doing this year yet. But Movestro, you put up a great video about that, and you should check that out on our YouTube. We will also put a link in the show notes about that video. But that video is awesome about the experience. And last year was a Sinatra and Jack Daniels dining experience. And this year is going to be just as good, but much different.
I don't even know what it is yet. But anyways.
Really?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Did you tell me?
I gotta look back at my notes. I
gotta look at my
notes.
Oh, you gave me some hints. All right. Anyways. Yeah. So that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this episode. Luxury Travel, TravelZork.travel. Visit us at TravelZork.travel to plan your next amazing vacation. not just Las Vegas, but anywhere in the world. And be sure to find us on social media. All social platforms are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.